Hi, welcome. You're in AP US History, so I'm Miss Jenkins. Hopefully you're in the right spot. I appreciate you joining me this evening. I'm just going to kind of briefly introduce myself, give you a little rundown about the course in AP US History. I also teach US History and debate, so I'll talk briefly about those or can answer any questions about those at the end that you might have as well. Um, all right. Again, as we go along, just to type questions. This is probably the fourth teacher you've been to, so you should have it down by now. But type any questions in the question and answer, and I'll get to those as soon as I can. All right, I am originally from Maine, and I was in the U.S. Air Force for a little under 8 years. My husband is from Florida, so that's how we got down here. I have several degrees from UCF, used my GI Bill to go there. I have a Bachelor of Science in Social Science Education, and I also have my Master's Education and Teacher Leadership that I got there. And I started teaching at Oviedo in 2014, 2015, and I've been teaching AP US History the whole time. So this is like my 6th year teaching. All right, just a little bit about what the course kind of looks like, what the expectations are. It is a college level course. There are high expectations for student involvement and pacing, material, and the workload can be rigorous, especially given its junior year. Students, as I've discovered, they struggle junior year because it's really the workload ratcheted up a lot, and they're taking multiple APs. They're worried about college, they're doing sports and all these activities. So they have to learn time management. So just the context of what they're taking the class in with everything else can make it a little, rigorous for students. It is a survey class, college survey or university survey class. It emphasizes critical approach to the study of history. Historiography, or the study of differing viewpoints of major historians, is also a component and studied in great depth. And critical historical thinking skills plus the application of comprehensive persuasive writing are an integral part of the study of US history and this course for what's expected for the AP exam and by the College Board. All right, I usually have students pick up the AMSCO book. You can see on the screen there on the PowerPoint. They can pick that up or usually over the summer. They usually read chapter 1, be ready to start that day 1 when they start school. Last year I didn't give a summer assignment with COVID and everything, and I'm not sure I will this year except for, get the book, read, and be ready to go. And then they usually have a test that first week, first Friday or whatever, that I have them to see, if they're ready for the class or not. If they can't purchase the book or if they don't want to purchase the book, I have a lot of copies from previous students in my classroom, and then they're free to get one of those. We do have an online textbook and also hard copies of the book. There's about, it's a huge book. Normally, if they did reading out of that, it would be about 30 plus pages a week. Cut back considerably with the weekly chapter readings from the AMSCO, because it's only like 10 or 12 pages. So, it's pretty much straight what they need to know. And this is very helpful for students and gives us time to concentrate on primary sources and skills, stuff like that. We do utilize Canvas, eCampus quite extensively, especially now. A lot of my, I already had my modules and weekly agenda up there. Parents, you can join, you can be an observer, so you can see what they're doing. You can't, you can just ask what's for homework and they say nothing. You can go and actually check that. You can see if they've turned in their homework. You can see when things are due. So it's a great tool for parents as well. But that's where they'll hand in a lot of their work, and everything is listed there. We utilize AP Classroom. We watch videos on that. We do the multiple choice unit questions for every unit so they can practice those. Tests are about every 2 to 3 chapters, so every 2 to 3 weeks. We cover about a chapter a week. They do have additional daily activities, reading handouts and whatnot. That's, like I said, those primary, secondary sources, critical thinking, and the skills that they'll be working on. As far as daily homework, it just really depends on the student. It's like 30 minutes to an hour that they'll have of homework. They need to learn to time manage because some of their assignments, the key concept packet, for example, goes every unit. So it's every 2 to 4 chapters. So that's 2 to 4 weeks worth of note taking from when they're reading, following along with lectures, watching videos. If they don't do that, then they'll be pulling an all-nighter or something the night before it's due. So if they're, doing 3 or 4 hours of homework, there's something wrong there. They didn't, haven't learned that skill of time management yet. But normally 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the student. And that is actually not that much compared to what a lot of AP US history teachers assign and expect. I've tried to cut it down as much as possible and still get them the skills and the content they need to be successful. There is writing, SAQs, LEQs, DBQs. If they took AP World, the course it's the same thing, the same formatting as AP World, just the content's different. So, and instead of breadth, you're going depth, right? Because it's a lot less time period. We go from Columbus, Native American time period, up through present. So it's just a different way of kind of diving into that material and thinking critically about it. So they got to get kind of used to that. That's kind of pretty much the class. My tests are multiple choice for the most part. And like I said, we work writing in separately as far as that component is. Let's see here. Here's some information. Parents, students always want to know what my scores were. Last year, even given COVID and all that craziness, we were very successful. Students had an 85.5% pass rate, which was #1 in the district. So I was super proud of that. Always in the top with like 2. And the thing that I'm really proud about is a lot of the students are falling the 4 or 5 range. So they're not just passing, but they're passing worth a 4 or 5. So if your student goes to UCF or some state college or other colleges, they require a 4 to get both of those US history classes. If they get a 3, that only takes care of one of them, they still have to take the other. So, the fact that most of my students get 4s and 5s is nice because that means they'll be saving 2 college courses worth of tuition that they don't have to take when they get that far. So, all right. Do you have any questions? Any questions for me about AP US history, about, like I said, the difference with honors US history? I can answer any of those questions you might have. And you can just type them in the question and answer and let me know how I can help you. Thank you. If there aren't any questions, I do just want to let you know that I do also teach, hopefully we'll be teaching debate. It is in the curriculum guide. It is an elective. And this year I couldn't teach it because, we had a kind of shortage of teachers because some were teaching virtual, but next year, hopefully, if enough students sign up, I can teach it again. It's very helpful. I think it's one of the most important classes they probably can take because it will help them in the real world, in their jobs, and in all their other classes. Teach speaking, feeling comfortable with that, how to make an argument, how to debate, how to do media literacy, research. So those are just some skills that they would learn. That's a year-long class that they can take with me as an elective. And then one other thing I didn't really mention either is if your student took honors world and has not taken AP World, they can still be very successful in my class. I have many students who either just weren't interested in the content or weren't ready for an AP course and they're doing very well. So don't worry about that. I make sure that they're given the scaffolding and the help they need, and I just don't say, here, do this, you've already done it. You know, I make sure that they'll be successful no matter what they took last year. Like I said, that's pretty much it. If you don't have any questions, you know, the evening is yours, and I appreciate you stopping in to hear about my class. Also, you can reach me via email, and your students can also, I'm there early in the morning. I have fifth period plan, and feel free to drop in and say hi, and they can also check out one of my classes that I teach if they want to as well. So thank you so much.